All right, we have, or rather I have with me in a studio, and we have on Citizen TV, Mutwiri Mutwata, sports journalist. We also have the track and field coach, whose name precedes him, Bernard Ouma, who's joining us from Kisumu, and he was at the Olympics. In fact, he was involved in some appeal. He'll tell us more about that. But and we were expecting Barnaba Korir, who was the deputy chief of mission Team Kenya at the Paris Olympics. Unfortunately, he has not as yet been able to make it into studio, but we will be engaging the Secretary General NOC, that is the National Olympics Committee of Kenya, on phone. But before then, I'll start with you, Mutwiri. You had those remarks in the story we've just carried, the Deputy President saying if there are medals to be given out for being critical, Kenya would win all of them. Why do you think there was this sense that while Kenya, the numbers tell us Kenya performed exemplarily well with 17, at number 17 globally compared to 19 at the last Olympics, why do you think there's still this sense that they did not perform at their peak?
This is because for the first time in a long time, we had the Olympics Kenya, that is the National Olympics Committee of Kenya, but as they prefer to be known nowadays, Olympics Kenya, they had invested a lot in the preparations of this team. We are not just talking about track and field, we are talking about 5 sports that they took to the Olympics. At the end of the day, 9 days into the Olympics, that's when we started winning the medals. So people are frustrated that teams like the rugby sevens, we had the volleyball, we had judo, we had even the first time ever a fencer competing for Kenya at the Olympics. So the reason why the criticism was there is people felt the return on investment on the team did not commensurate the number of medals we got. Yes, we had great performances in the track and field, of course, in the distance running. Even if some of them did not win medals, guys like Diego did exemplary well to get to the final in his 4th Olympics. We also had Eliud Kipchoge, even though he did not finish the marathon, lining up for the 5th Olympics. No Kenyan has ever done that. We are talking about a 20-year career difference between the first Olympics and the last Olympics. But at the end of the day, what happened was we saw 11 medals coming from the track and field team. Out of these 11 medals, 4 of them were won by 2 individuals. That is Faith Kipyegon, gold and a silver, and of course Beatrice with the historic double. So that is why there is a feeling that yes, Kenya should have done more, especially when you see even the performances. Some of them, we took teams running in 1500, 800 meters and all that, but what we witnessed is only the women's 10,000 meters where they seem to have a clue of running as a team. The other races, they were so disjointed. So that is why there was that bittersweet feeling with this performance.
Your response to that, do you think the criticism has been unfair, Coach? Coach, can you hear me? I'm asking, do you think the criticism
yes,
that we heard at the beginning of the Olympics that Kenya is not performing at its peak, do you think that was deserved or unfair?
I'll say 2 words. If there were criticism done from a point of information, that would be okay. But remember, track and field is a process where you go through the preliminaries, the heats, the semis, then the finals. And again, you may not judge an Olympic with 2 finals. For you to have a holistic judgment on the championship, maybe you may talk a day to the last day of the last event, or the day of the last event. Because remember, we managed to bag 4 medals from that. Secondly, I want to differ with Mutwiri a little bit. When you talk of return on investment, I think that's a little bit an overstatement. Because what's the cost of winning a medal? The cost of winning a medal, according to the Americas, according to the UK and some parts of the European countries, this is statistical. This is after one of my research on the strategic development towards the Paris 2024, was about 50 to 60,000 US dollars. So when you take return on investment, probably we may want to invest more for us to ask for return on investment. But if you look at what the National Olympic Committee did in terms of preparation toward in the lead up to the Olympic Games, was such a massive job. quite in sync with the federations. Athletics Kenya, of course, we had, again, I want to rectify something from Muturi. When he mentioned 5 disciplines, there were 6 disciplines. Athletics being one of them. Then we had rugby sevens, women volleyball, fencing, judo, and I don't know, maybe I'm missing one of them as well. Yes, but all the medals came from athletics. Probably Kenyans know that Olympic is athletics. Maybe going forward, we may want to look into the team sports as well. So we have a joint effort into, because the rush for the medal is very competitive at the moment.
All right.
So it's unfair to say that the performance was wrong.
Okay. And I see you're still flying Kenya's flag high on your T-shirt there. But Mutwiri, when it came to the marathons, for example, and women's in particular, Michael Kinney kept telling us, prepare for a clean sweep. We expected Munyao Kipruto to perform better, though they did do well by comparison. And in the steeplechase, we secured bronze, both in the men's and women's. Do you feel that there has been a declining performance in those races that Kenya has historically been dominant in?
Well, to answer that is, first of all, the marathon course was brutal. In the history of the Olympics, you have never seen such a marathon course. Even when they say Boston has 7 hills and New York has a few hills, those 2 hills, especially the one that was around 29 kilometers, from 27 to 29 kilometers, they were killer fields. And we happened to take a team in the men's, for example, that had run on very fast courses. Tokyo is a very fast course that was won by Bernard. We had Elliot running also in Tokyo and Alex winning in London, which are rather flat courses compared to what they faced in the Olympics. For the women's, they actually did very well, but Obiri falling twice to come and win bronze, that was one of the heroic performances from Team Kenya. But they were better prepared in terms of having run in Boston in April, which is a hilly course as compared with the men. When we come to the steeplechase, we saw Abraham did a great job to win that bronze medal, because Kenya has, since Ezekiel, the three of Ezekiel, Matelong, Brimin, and of course Kipsiele retired, we've not had strong steeplechasers, and Bakari has been something else. He took over the mantle, and steeplechase is one of those races where you see one dominant force coming, for example, from Moses Kiptanui to the Ezekiel Kembois. Now it's Bakari's era rather. When you go to the women's, 6 of the finishers, the top 6 finishers, had roots in Kenya, if you can call it. Even Perus Chimutai from Uganda, we still claim her. Mm-hmm. And if you look at these people like Nora Jeruto and all that, and Yavi, they were running in the juniors category here in Kenya, but they could not make the top 2 so that they could represent us as the world under 17 or world under 20 level. Under 17, of course, is already defunct. We heard the last one here in Nairobi. But now, when those ladies, they could not make it at the very top, and they chose to run for other nations. And then we had Nora Jeruto, we have all these people coming in with the medals where we cannot. So to see our last born, Faith, winning a bronze medal, also that is one for the future. So that is somebody we need to wrap around with cotton wool, because she in the next, maybe in Tokyo all the way to Los Angeles, she might be the one to bring this gold. Because funny enough, Kenya has never won a steeplechase gold medal in the Olympics for the women. We've won 9 for the men. And now after Wanyonyi won the 800 meters, that is 6 gold medals from the 800 meters. So steeplechase has 9, the men's, 800 meters has 6. So if we need to preserve what we are good at as we try to branch out and get other medals from other disciplines and events.
All right. Coach, especially where Yavi is concerned in the steeplechase, we even had the president speak during the Eldoret celebratory breakfast and say we should have gotten a 5th. And a lot of people were asking questions, why is Winfred Yavi running? She's Kenyan born, yet she's running for Bahrain. And there was speculation around to secure a slot for the Olympics, you may need to pay a bribe. Maybe it's too cutthroat and she didn't make it, or are athletics officials involved in sending our talent out of the country?
Olive, I'll say simple term, those are nonsense. You know, in sports, we have sports and social mobility if people are studying very well. And in terms of social mobility is to help on socio-economic status of various individuals. You've seen coaches going outside to coach, and there are always window of transfer as well. If you look at football, look at the way people are moving around the world. This is part of the economical advantages that sportsmen and women will take advantage of, where people are moving across, upward, across, vertically, and everywhere for social mobility, for their well-being. So I don't know why athletics is being picked per se. And there's nothing wrong for social mobility when you get a good chance outside. You've seen even educational mobility as well, where we're transferring in professionals outside to go and work, doctors, footballers like Mariga. Some of them are changing allegiance. If you look at World Athletics, has got a process of change of allegiance. So personally, I don't see anything wrong with that one. If not, then we need to have a system as well to keep these talents comfortable and pay them well back home. Then the social mobility will be internal. But because there are a lot of pull and push factors, in terms of remuneration, rewards, I'm very happy that the current regime are really working so well to reward the medalists, to reward the finalists. But if we have a clear structure that is starting from the junior level, I'm very happy that Athletics Kenya has come up with the youth committee, which is organized by Bana Bakori. Bana Bakori was supposed to be in this interview. He was the deputy CDM, chief dimission, into Paris. If you look at the likes of Wanyonyi, people are not talking about this. The Young Faith, these are a culmination of the program, the youth program that is coming up. So if these talents are identified early enough, nurtured, exposed to proper training as well, scientific and proper specialization at the right time, we're going to have very good athletes. But in terms of deterring transfer of athletes coming to run for other countries as well, that is very economical. That has to be discussed. It depends on the individual. As far as social mobility is concerned, it depends what are the push and pull factors that is taking away. Back to the general, as I'm still into the factor of the unfairness of being claimed that Kenya didn't perform well. If you look at Africa as a whole, in Tokyo 2020, Africa got 37 medals. Kenya got 13 out of that. In Paris, Kenya, all of Africa got 39 medals. Kenya got 11 of it. If you look at this percentage, this is only forming 22.2% of the whole Africa. The whole world, we had 203 countries, plus one refugee country. Out of these, only 91 countries got medal, which is maybe 44%. So the competition has really changed, and Olympic used to be an amateur and more participatory event. But now people are talking of harvesting of medals and competition change. There's another area that, from a technical perspective, that I may ask World Athletics and even AIU to look into this. I know Kenya are being categorized in category A. But if the testing could be done in a pool, or let's say this is the pool in order of world ranking of 800 meters, 1500 meters, are they being tested equally? Is Mary Mora being tested equal to Kili Hawkinson? You find this is wrong. This is not true. I found out that some of them are getting tested once or twice a year, while here our athletes are being tested many times. So personally, I would want them to review the category A, because we want to market our success as well. If you look at the percentage of athletes that are being caught, probably it's 2% of what the world is talking about, because we have many athletes as well. So if the doping can be streamlined in the pool system, not generalized in one country where some people are given leverage and advantage, who says that those are being tested once because they're not in category A, they are not doping? Why am I saying this? You find some athletes having PBs of 4 seconds. Somebody is running 3:30, 3:31 in 1500 meters, and then within a month also running 3:27. That's raising eyebrows. If it was Kenya, people will ask questions. This is a very sensitive topic that people want to talk about. But from my observation as a coach, there are a lot of question marks, more so from the Caucasians, and I would wish this would be a discussion some other days.
All right, thank you for that, Coach Mutwiri. Mutwiri, we have to take a break. Okay. But when we come back, we'll get into the technical aspect, especially because we heard the president of NOC Kenya talk about that there are deficits in that area. How do we address that, especially considering what the president said, other countries have come and trained here and now are beating us on the track? How then do we answer that on the other side of this break?